Hi everyone, I'm Law of the West, and just recently I was looking at the schedule for this year's CitizenCon, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they showcased the Polaris during one of its panels, just like they ended up doing with the Carrack a while back. And until they say otherwise, the Polaris is still slated to be released sometime before the end of the year, which is going to be here before you know it. And I was beginning to subconsciously see other parallels beginning to emerge between the Polaris and the Carrack, and it made me think about how it has a lot of potential to end up being everything that I originally wanted the Carrack to be. And what I really wanted was to be able to use it as a base that I could return to in between missions. A long time ago, I had upgraded my game package from a starter ship to a Super Hornet, and that ended up being my only ship for quite a while. And after I decided to join an org, I ended up upgrading my Super Hornet to the Carrack. That was because I really wanted to pursue exploration as my main career path. And if I upgraded my ship to the Carrack, I'd still have access to the Super Hornet as a loaner ship, and because the Carrack wasn't flyable at the time, I'd also get a Connie as a bonus. So that was my entire fleet for years. And when the Carrack finally came out, I really wanted to use it as a deep space home away from home. It had a built-in spawn point, I could stow food and ammunition in it, it has a med bed that I could heal up at, and it could also carry some vehicles in a small ship. But it never really lived up to the expectations that I had for it. I still love my Carrack, but it seems like the Polaris could do everything that I wanted it to do, but it stepped things up in every way. Like for instance, the Polaris has a hangar that's big enough to carry a decent-sized fighter craft. It has plenty of room for cargo, it has 2 medical beds that can act as independent spawn points, and has a lot more firepower and a lot stronger defenses. And I don't have any delusions about trying to run this ship solo, I just want to use it as a base that I could return to and drop my stuff off after I'm done running missions. I could use the hangar to repair, refuel, and resupply the fighter craft that I was using to run missions with, and after I was done I could log out whenever I wanted, and then spawn right back into the game and skip the whole waking up in a hab and having to take the train to my hangar routine every time that I log back on. I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of issues with this, because there always are. But this ship at least holds the promise of being everything that I was hoping for. I mainly want to just try and see how long I can stay in space, and I don't really plan on using the Polaris for running missions. As long as I don't do something stupid like showing everybody exactly where I've left it, I could keep it hidden in space almost indefinitely. And I'm not going to have to worry about fuel if I'm not carting it around everywhere I go. Nah, I'm going to use whatever smaller ship that I brought along with me for that. And I know that an entire panel for this year's CitizenCon is going to be dedicated to base building, which is something that I'm actually really excited to hear more about. Although I'm more interested in having a mobile base, because if I built one that was stationary and people figured out where it was, I'd probably have a non-stop conga line of griefers bombing it back to the Stone Age. So for the time being, I'll stick with using the Polaris. But what about you? How many of you out there are looking forward to having a certain ship that you want to use as a mobile base you could call your own? Let me know in the comments sections what your thoughts are about it. Well, I've been your host, Law of the West. Thanks for watching. Take care.